reset, rip. Perfect gone.
It's crazy how Conor Benn's career has gone because he's a huge name, a huge draw, and a huge money fight now for anyone fighting him. Yeah.
Well, if he makes the adjustments and if the conditions are exactly the same as they were for the contractual conditions are exactly the same as they were in the first place, I'm going Conor.
Chris Eubank Jr. is clearly shocked by Conor Benn's bulked up physique and newfound strength. This rematch now heavily favors Benn. His bigger size and power have surprised everyone. It could completely change the dynamic and make it extremely challenging for Eubank to recover quickly from their first brutal encounter.
This guy has zero respect for anything. And I hope people can see through it. Some will, some won't. But if you can't see them, that's a lot of what happened up there was just wrong. So listen, we go to work and we're in to win the fight. It's going to be different this time.
The perfect storm of the egg slap and Chris Eubank Sr. reveal once captivated everyone. But now all eyes are on Conor Benn. His bulked up physique and surprising strength have shifted the focus, making Eubank Jr. struggle to command the same hype and giving Benn the clear advantage in public perception.
But it was the perfect storm of events. From the egg slap, from the 2.5-year build-up, from the Chris Eubank Sr. reveal, you're not going to get all that again.
You're not going to get that.
And that reveal and the egg slap and everything else made it just one that even people that I know don't like boxing were like, okay, I'm intrigued, I need to watch.
But won't
that intrigue's gone.
Won't that carry over?
Even after all the drama and spectacle, nothing captures attention like Conor Benn stepping into the ring. People are drawn to his strength and presence, and Eubank Jr. is now under pressure to match that energy. The hype Benn brings makes it clear the focus has shifted.
They go, look at what they delivered in the ring, we want to see it again.
It could, I believe it could, but I think one main thing that's not on the, headlines of news.
Johnny Nelson says Eubank Jr. cannot improve on his performance and his legs look stiff and stationary like he was stuck in quicksand. Conor Benn shows clear improvement, and this rematch will likely have a completely different outcome. Benn's movement and stamina could give him the edge over Eubank Jr.
I do see improvement there for Conor, and I do think the results will be different the other way around in the next fight. I think it'll go the difference all over again.
Conor Benn says, "I live for this," and has visualized the fight over 100 times. He has focused fully on training, stepping out of his comfort zones and leaving distractions behind. Benn is completely dialed in and ready to face Chris Eubank Jr. Saturday night with no PR games, just action in the ring.
I live for this. I've had the fight over 100 times in my head. For me, it's just focusing on the training, removing myself from my comfort zones, my familiarities, my family, and, fully dialing in. I'm not going to allow myself to Chris and go back and forth and, all that PR is done. I'm excited to get in there and put my hands on him Saturday night.
Johnny Nelson highlights that Conor Benn will be better in this rematch, and Chris Eubank Jr. has nothing more left to give. Benn showed incredible resilience in the first fight and stuck it out against all odds. The gap is now bridgeable, and Benn has a real chance to turn the tables in the rematch.
Does that mean you think do you think Conor Benn will be better in the second fight?
Yes.
Does that mean that you think that by him being better and there's no more left from Chris Eubank, that Conor Benn's able to bridge the gap and get an outcome in his second fight?
Without a doubt.
You do?
He couldn't have done any more. If he could have knocked out Conor in that fight, he would have done.
Yeah.
He just couldn't get rid of him. And Conor stuck it. So regardless of him being surprised that Conor stuck it out a lot more, he couldn't get...
Adiola Depot points out that the bigger man has the advantage and the rematch will be fascinating. Conor Benn now knows he can hurt Chris Eubank Jr. and has experienced his power. Benn might perform even better next time and has a genuine chance to win. With Eubank older and Benn hungry, this fight could be huge and sell out Tottenham once again.
In the end, bigger guy won it. The rematch is going to be interesting, I think. He's now realised that I can hurt that fighter. I've felt the other fighter's power. Next time, I know what's coming. I think he might even do better in the next one. I think he's got a shout to win it.
And Eubank's older.
I get these fights, but you do want to see Benn. Can you kick on to try and win a...
Gordon Ramsay points out the huge challenge of moving up in weight and how Chris Eubank Jr. has the advantage if the fight goes deep. Conor Benn needs to finish strong and early because Eubank Jr's experience could dominate later rounds. Benn must use his youth, speed, and power to overcome Eubank's size and stamina. The pressure is on Benn to make a decisive impact before Eubank settles into his rhythm. Timing and strategy will be key in this rematch. Fans are expecting a fast start from Benn to neutralize Eubank's advantage.
To lose. And jumping up a weight is hard, but jumping up 2 is even harder. So Chris has got the advantage if it goes past 6. Ben's got to get this done early. Otherwise, it's going to be Chris's. I predict Chris in round 6.
Johnny Nelson believes this rematch is Benn's chance for revenge, and he sees improvement potential in Conor. Both fighters impressed in the first fight, but Benn clearly had something left to give while Eubank Jr was spent. If Benn makes the right adjustments and conditions are similar, he has the edge. The key lies in Benn's ability to capitalize on his speed, energy, and tactical improvements. This fight gives him a realistic opportunity to turn the tables and make a statement. Fans should expect a sharper, more aggressive Conor Benn.
I think it's going to be revenge. I'm flipping. I think both fighters put on an amazing performance. I think both fighters respond. I think both fighters should be really proud of themselves. I think Chris Jr., he rinsed himself out when there was nothing left to give. Whereas I looked at Conor, I thought, you've got something left to give. And so if he makes the adjustments, and if the conditions are exactly the same as they were for the contractually conditions are exactly the same as they were in the first place, I'm going Conor.
Hamza Shiraz predicts Conor Benn will win inside 6 rounds, highlighting how Eubank Jr's weight could slow him down just like in the first fight. Benn's power, speed, and conditioning give him a strong advantage. The first fight was hard and challenging, but Benn learned from it and looks physically stronger. Eubank Jr may struggle to keep up with Benn's intensity and size. The fight is likely to be explosive early as Benn pushes his advantage and aims to finish the rematch decisively. Fans are expecting a high-tempo start from Benn.
What's your prediction, Benn or Eubank?
I've got Conor Benn to win inside 6 rounds. I feel like the weight will affect Eubank too much on how it affected him before as well. And it was a hard fight. It wasn't an easy fight. Yeah, Conor Benn to win inside.
Oscar De La Hoya explains how intense this rematch is and that fighting again so soon could be career-ending. Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr are entering with high stakes and raw intensity. Benn's youth and strength are critical in handling the pressure of this immediate rematch. The physical and mental demands are extreme, and both fighters will be tested like never before. Benn's advantage lies in recovery and speed, while Eubank Jr relies on experience and resilience. Fans can expect a brutal, high-energy fight from the opening bell.
With these rematches, with these types of intense fights taking place, like Conor and Eubank, a rematch right away will probably end their career. You know, it's that intense.
Simon Jordan notes the off-ring drama between Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr and how personal stories influence public perception. The spectacle of the previous fight was unforgettable, but Benn's mental focus now gives him a huge edge. Eubank Jr's repeated narratives cannot match Benn's preparation, strength, and hunger for victory. Benn has learned from the first fight and looks more determined, confident, and bulked up, ready to shock the world again. The rematch will be a test of both skill and mind games, with Benn likely taking control early.
One main thing that's not on the, headlines of news is when you talk to people about their relationship with their parents, they link it a lot to that show, which I was surprised about. People I called my dad as soon as I left the arena.
Because Eubank said that, didn't he?
He said that. People I've spoken to personally was like, I called my dad, I texted him straight
But as
away.
a spectacle, which was the big translation, wasn't it? Which people said it crossed over. I mean, there's only so many times he's going to tell Barry Hearn's son to shut up at a press conference, isn't there? There's only so many times we're going to be able to hear Chris Eubank.
Eddie Hearn emphasizes just how much this fight means to Conor Benn, who is hungry for revenge. This is not just another fight, but a massive opportunity to prove himself against Chris Eubank Jr. Benn's determination and focus are clear, and the stakes could not be higher. Eubank Jr may have size and experience, but Benn's desire to correct the mistakes of the first fight and assert dominance gives him the psychological edge. At 160 pounds, Benn's speed and conditioning could neutralize Eubank's advantage. Fans should expect Benn to impose himself early and relentlessly from the opening bell.
We've got to have a think about it. You know, Conor's saying, I want revenge, I want this, and it's the biggest fight. I mean, it's massive. But you don't want too many fights like that, and we're giving away advantage up here at 160.
BULKED points out that if Conor Benn dominates this rematch against Chris Eubank Jr., it will open the door for a world title shot at 160 pounds. Benn's focus, physical growth, and tactical improvements make him a real threat. Eubank Jr. may still be dangerous, but Benn's youth, speed, and hunger set him apart. This fight is a statement opportunity. A decisive win here could cement Benn's reputation and prove he can handle bigger, more experienced fighters at higher weights. Fans can expect a confident and controlled Benn imposing his style while seeking to finish the fight efficiently and decisively.
I said, man, once you get past this fight, you dominate this fight, they can't deny you fighting for a world title, you know. At 160, I believe he can be a world champion.
At 160?
At 160, I believe he can be a world champion.
Conor Benn calls out Chris Eubank Jr. for trying to play the victim and emphasizes that it does not concern him. Benn is focused on the fight, the rematch, and executing his game plan. His confidence and mental strength are on full display. Benn's growth since the first fight is clear as he is stronger, bulked up, and better prepared to dominate the ring. Eubank Jr.'s attempts at mind games will likely have little effect against Benn's focus and determination. The rematch will showcase Benn's tactical intelligence, resilience, and readiness to assert himself from round one, making it clear he is not intimidated.
My preview of this fight is the same as it would have been for the fathers. How unusual is that? So you got Benn, the smaller man, and then there's a hydration clause. He was a welterweight that he fought a few fights at junior middleweight. But Eubank's been a middleweight and super middleweight most of his career. So he is the guy who's bigger. I see the fight as Benn having to get close without taking damage.
The stage is set for one of the most anticipated rematches in recent boxing history as Conor Benn faces Chris Eubank Jr. once again. Benn's bulked-up physique and increased strength have surprised everyone and clearly shifted the advantage in his favor. If Eubank Jr. wins, it will be a testament to his experience and power. But the younger, faster, and hungrier Benn looks unstoppable. Mentally, Benn is sharper, more focused, and completely dialed in, having analyzed every moment of their first fight. He knows Eubank's patterns and weaknesses and is ready to exploit them while avoiding unnecessary damage. The fight promises explosive action, tactical brilliance, and a possible statement win that could propel Benn toward a world title. Fans cannot afford to miss this clash of skill, strength, and determination. Do you agree Benn will dominate this rematch, or will Eubank Jr. shock the world? Comment below and join the debate.